welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my best hacks, tips, and tricks for how to get your kids to play more independently, to spend time playing by themselves and not needing and requiring you for their play. So if you guys like this video, if you do, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button down below. If you want to see more of me and my content, I share videos about being a mom, being a Jewish mom, and my tips for conscious parenting. So first of all, what is independent play and why is it so important? Independent play is when kids are playing on their own, which means they're not requiring you to be involved in their little world and the play that they're experiencing. And the reason that this is so important is because it allows them the opportunity to grow through play, to really use it to exercise their mind, to expand what they're doing, to be creative and imaginative. And it also allows them to play for longer stretches of time and become really immersed in these little imaginary worlds that they create. It also fosters a sense of independence and skills and self-worth and everything else that goes along with being able to do things by yourself. And of course, it's awesome for parents because it allows parents to get things done. So while independent play is important, of course, it's also important to spend time playing with your kids. And I feel like there's a really delicate balance there. But once kids have mastered the skill for independent play, you'll find it a lot more enjoyable to spend smaller amounts of time really engaged in play with them, rather than it being like a constant request that's dragging on you. Okay, so my number one tip for independent play is creating a play space that's enjoyable for them, but one that they can also manipulate on their own without needing you. So what does that mean? It means having toys totally accessible and at their level. I just put up a playroom tour a few weeks ago, so I'll link to that video down below. But everything in our playroom is right at their level. It's also in bins that they can clearly see into and know what's inside. Mostly. We do have a few that are more closed, and I find that's helpful too, so that when they come into the room, they don't see everything. They can sort of focus on different things, play with them, get into them, put those ones away, take something else. My second really helpful tip for this is to not micromanage their play. If they want to take out everything in the playroom, that's totally fine. This is their time to do what they want with their toys. You'll find that kids who play independently really well actually don't make huge messes of playrooms and don't take out 100 toys at once because they become really immersed in the toy that they're playing with. So it's kind of one of those cycles that spins on itself. Once they play independently, they also play in a way that's less messy and crazy. Of course, no child is perfect, and you'll see things vary throughout the days, throughout the weeks, but in general, that rule is true. My third tip is to invest in toys that are open-ended and encourage imaginative play. So they don't have to be all wooden Montessori style toys, but it helps to have a few things like blocks and simple plain toys that they can create those imaginary worlds with. I will link some of my favorites down below that really keep my kids' imagination going for a long time. My next tip is how to act when your kid is playing so that they learn to keep going by themselves. I find that my kids play independently at their best when I'm actually making dinner, because they know I'm totally unavailable at that time to play with them. Of course, I'm still there and can observe them, watch them, make sure everything is safe and that they're totally fine. If they need me, I'm there. But they know I'm not going to play with them at that time. They know I'm making dinner, so they don't even ask me to play, and they've learned that that's their time where they really play by themselves. And they've grown up with that their whole lives, so they don't really have expectations of me playing with them at that time, and they totally play independently. So if you're working on a schedule where things change, you don't always have that single block of time, you can still, don't even have to let them know. You don't have to say, Mommy's going away or Mommy's doing this. What you can do is once you see them enjoying and playing with what they're doing, you can sort of step back a little bit and become immersed in something that you need to do. It really helps if you're not just on your phone. It's okay if you need to be on your phone, of course, but if you're physically doing something like cleaning, making dinner, doing a craft, whatever it is, so they can really see with their eyes that you're busy. Of course, once they're really used to playing independently, then you'll have more flexibility and you can just be on your phone or doing your work or whatever it is. But sometimes things like phones and computers are a little bit triggering to kids in the sense that they want your attention back from those things, versus when you're just doing a little bit of tidying or cleaning or other house stuff, they kind of understand that you need to do those tasks, whereas the other ones they might pull on a little bit more. So the point is to practice with them when you see them immersed and playing well, that you kind of step back and become immersed in your own things, and to not constantly ask them questions or try to involve yourself or try to fix things. Let them do it on their own. That's another key takeaway, is to not try to fix every problem that they have. And kids wind up having so many problems when they're playing. They can't find a certain toy, this doesn't fit the way they want it to, and we've adopted a mantra in our house, which is just, you can figure it out. I like to tell my kids a lot that they can do hard things and that they can figure it out, and that they're really smart and really brave, and just give those empowering mantras. And of course, half the time they tell me that they're not and they can't and they kind of push back. But because I'm constantly sending that message, they know that they have to try and figure it out for themselves for a while before I'll step in, especially when it's a problem that's something that I know they actually can handle, and I want them to build that self-esteem and figure out how to do it on their own. My last tip is something I talk about all the time when I talk about kids play, and that is to have less stuff around. Have you ever found that when you go to like a restaurant or another like a hotel or something, and you only bring with 1 or 2 toys, they're able to play with those toys for a long time because they have nothing else? So in a similar way, when their play space has fewer toys, they become creative, they become imaginative. There's no one toy that's better than another, and you can have all the toys in the world and your kids will still be bored, because play for children is about imagination. It's not about the toy themselves. So the less stuff they have around them, often the better they'll be at playing with that stuff. So those are my best tips and advice for getting your kids to play independently and to not be constantly relying on you to have fun. I hope that you guys found these helpful. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!